Hey peeps, it's your girl Blessydgazadiva and welcome back to the Blessydgazadiva channel. I'm going to say this much to you. I don't care what the woman did. You dishonor the house of God. That's it for me. Now this is from the desk of Andrea Lowe's son. I'm so grateful to all my friends who reached out. Y'all truly amazing. I'ma respect and appreciate every single prayer and wish. Even though I may not respond to you, just know I see and feel the love. My heart is broken, but you all keep me alive right now. Some of uno may even talk to in years, but just knowing the link is strong as ever makes all the difference in the world. I will be away from the media for a while, but just know I see and appreciate everything and the love y'all sending my way. Trust me, keep praying for me. There you have it, people, from the decks of Andrea's son. You know, I can imagine losing a loved one. I've been there before. So losing a loved one is not an easy task. It is more than pain, nerve-wracking. And this is his mother. So you can only imagine what he's going through. The police theorized that a contract stemming from a domestic dispute triggered yesterday's horrific death of a woman who was brutally gunned down as she worshipped at the Agape Christian Fellowship Church on Market Street in Falmouth, Trelawny. Quick police action resulted in 3 persons of interest being taken into custody for questioning in connection with the gun slaying. The police say that they also seized the vehicle which reportedly transported the triggerman. No one else was physically harmed during the attack. Following strong investigative leads, the police were able to zone in on several persons of interest in this matter and were able to seize the vehicle. But it is still tenuous, so we cannot say much at this time. Head of the Area 1 Police Division, Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Clifford Chambers, told the Jamaica Observer last night, "We think it's coming from a domestic feud. That's all I'm prepared to say," said ACP. At the moment, a usually impeccable police source revealed. The Observer has learned that only last year, Lo Garwood's husband died as a result of injuries he sustained in a motor vehicle collision in St. James. Security Minister Horace Chang, who visited the murder scene yesterday, said, "This is a reflection of the level of brutality that some of our criminals have gotten. The police have extremely good leads and are expected to close this quickly, but it is particularly worrying." About 10:30 a.m. yesterday, pandemonium struck during the praise and worship segment of the church service after a gunslinger who had been posing as a worshiper fired a volley of shots, hitting Lo Garwood and sending members of the congregation scampering in all directions. I have that video posted yesterday. If you want to see it in church and the audio, you can check it out. The police say the attacker reportedly fled from the church and boarded a waiting car, which sped away. The injured Lo Garwood was taken to the Falmouth Public General, where she was pronounced. The shooter reportedly sat behind the unsuspecting Lo Garwood during the service after entering the church and sanitizing his hand in keeping with the Rona protocols. When the Observer inquired from a male member of the congregation whether the gunman had been wearing a mask upon his entry, he noted that while he did not see his face, it was hardly likely for an individual not wearing a mask to be allowed to take part in worship. It is a prerequisite for anyone entering the sanctuary to wear a mask, get their hands sanitized, and do a temperature check. And the time you enter would be recorded. That is a protocol of the church, which is that one is not allowed to go into the sanctuary without wearing a mask, the visibly shaken church member underscored. Head of the Agape Christian Fellowship Church, Pastor Junior Rotti, told the Observer that the shooter had been not wearing a proper mask, but rather a handkerchief around his mouth, and he was also wearing a hat. You could hardly make out a face. There was a strong outpouring of condemnation of the brazen assault of the woman as she worshipped inside the church. Among those who denounced the grisly killing was a senior citizen who joined a throng of grim-faced onlookers and distraught worshippers who massed beyond the police yellow tape ringing the crime scene. In the past, a man would put out the cigarette he's smoking if he's passing the church. But now a man go inside the church and light up people with gunshot. What has this world come to? He questioned. Pastor Rotty, who was overcome with grief, disclosed that some church members were not only traumatized but fearful. The members are very distraught and disturbed. Some are wondering if there is anything else. It really affects them deeply. This is trauma, the clergyman bemoaned. Member of Parliament for Trelawny Northern, Tova Hamilton, was also among those who condemned the incident. It's quite heartrending. The entire constituency is in a state of shock. I had an opportunity to speak with the church members who were present during the incident, and they are traumatized, she said. She was particularly upset that there had been children inside the church who witnessed the frightening incident. More and more we are being forced to accept that we have no safe havens. The hearts of men are callous, cruel. Why does violence continue to be our solution to conflict? What are we really becoming as a people? She questioned. I believe it is time for us to accept once and for all that crime is an epidemic in this country, and we must act in concert to eradicate it, the parliamentarian said. All right, people, there you have it. Let me just take this opportunity to say that several pictures are going around with person's ID, and they're asking for it to stop circulating. There are people who genuinely lost their ID and has nothing to do with this. Then there is another case of a young man being purported in a blue shirt, and he has asked for that to be stopped. They say that he is the renter of the vehicle. Now, again, I am only putting it out there because we still don't know the full 100. We don't know if the renter of the vehicle was involved or not. We don't know. But as the person says, they're not involved. Let's leave it there for now. So thanks to all of you who sent me that information. But I just don't post information like that. I had to do a little digging. And they have said that those two persons, as it looks for now, are not involved. As you heard, the police stated they're following strong leads right now. They have the stepson in custody, and they are following strong leads, and they are stemming that all of this stemmed from a domestic dispute. There have been theories running around that this was due to an NCB ring of card that was being investigated, some $30 million string of credit card ring. Obviously, the police are now coming out and denouncing that. It is more a domestic dispute. So yesterday, and if you've not yet seen that video, you can also go and watch it. The husband of the wife was a Juta tour driver, and he recently died as well 6 months ago. And it was an accident with criminal elements on one part, fighting criminal elements on one another part, and he was killed at the Iberia Star Hotel. You can also watch that video to get more details on it. Based on what they're saying, after the husband passed, she has been in a tussle back and forth. Now, there's been several voice notes out on the issue. Again, I played that voice note in a previous video. You can go and listen to that voice note as well, where they're saying that the husband passed. She was supposed to be sharing up some house between her and family members, and it was not done. So at the end of the day, they're saying that it's stemming from that, and the children of the deceased man who passed her husband last year are not happy about it. Anyway, I don't know the full details. As the police say, what they're prepared to share at the time, or at this time, is that it's a domestic dispute that appears to have led to her demise. Now, all I can say is let's just wait until the police forward out with more information, and we can categorically state what's the problem. So the latest news from a popular gossip site is that police has found where the murderers were staying, and they actually ransacked the place. And this was pretty much what was said by the landlord or a tenant in the landlady's place. Police claim them get to the premises of where the murderers were that killed the lady in the Falmouth church yesterday, and them wreck the lady place, and them still don't find no body. The police claim that because that is where the fugitives were staying and were living, the lady now have no rights, so them can do anything them want to do as them please. Please be advised that the girl rent her place. She don't know who her tenants were bringing over, and she had no control over that. She does not live there. She comes and go, but F up the girl place real bad. This is at Rose Heights. So again, there is another message or another piece of lead in the case. Let's see how this progress and let's see how it develops. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscription bell so that you get all notifications. And if you've not yet smashed the like button on this video, smash